Hello and welcome, everyone. This is a very special video call update from our last very special call with Peter Schenk. We are going to be going deeper today to help you with key things that could be going on in your world and in your life. If you are feeling like you can't move forward, if you're feeling stuck, if you're feeling like you need support or you need a way to move out of some of the setbacks that you're dealing with and you don't know how anymore, that may very well be because you've reached the point. You've got to go into a higher energy. You've got to go beyond the mind. You know, the mind knows a lot, but what we really want is in our hearts and at a higher level. And that is coming into us all through higher energy. So we're going to be magnifying that today. And I also want to invite you, if you are on Zoom, let us know that you want to raise your hand. Yvonne, you've raised your hand. Allison, if you could let me know, remind me how folks raise their hand on Zoom, because I'm not 100% sure, but we want to get to people like Yvonne and everyone else here on the line. And our guest today is Peter Schenk, and we're going to be talking about some of his newest creations, one of which is all about taking the powers of the universe, of quantum vortexes, of quantum fields, and being able to hold them in the palm of your hand, but also being able to accelerate these energies in your life. And the other very unique thing is that in addition to things like this, we also have things like this, that we can now charge water with some of these quantum vortex energies. And I would bet a lot of you have probably been to a vortex. You've probably visited a vortex, but have you ever drunk water out of a vortex? I have not. So we're going to see what's up with that. Many of you know Peter Schenk began as a computer programmer developing software aimed to grow the already humongous fortune of one of the planet's largest global banks. And by the looks of that, by the sound of that, you can see that that was not the chosen path, right? The banks are huge and they have so much power. Peter had an life-altering awakening experience. He realized that his true passion, his true purpose was being here to harness quantum physics, science, and consciousness to accelerate the evolution of humanity. And so what he started doing was working with frequencies, patterning these frequencies, aligning these frequencies, figuring out how do we actually take what is matter, what is energy, and charge it, imprint it so that we elevate as humans to a higher field of possibilities. He started looking into the work of Dr. Mashiro Emoto. Many of you know Messages in the Water, how water can form crystalline, divine, intricate structures around sacred geometry with certain imprints that come in contact with the water, something we've got right here in this device. But he also started looking at the quantum and mathematical principles behind transformation, behind energy, even behind miracles themselves. And through that, he started developing software, tools, devices, and things to accelerate that process. So he's done all of it. And today, we're now in the field of some of the most powerful energies, and I'm very excited because we're going to be talking about what's happening with people now. One person, Christine Odell, said, I set my intention for a lease for a property, and within 24 hours, my son signed a lease. I am so grateful. She said, I activated it. I set my intention. I signed a lease. It met our location. It met our conditions, and it far was better, quote unquote, than our cost requirements. Another person, I felt energy healing flowing into my jaw, very powerful. The image of the quantum this alone started flowing energy into a jaw that was bothering me, making me feel better. Another person said, whenever an obstacle shows up, my device is the perfect companion. Another person said, my life just keeps getting better. So without further ado, let's welcome Peter back to the show and open up this very powerful Q&A. And welcome everyone. Peter, welcome as well. Thanks for being here and coming back.
Hey, Darius, thank you for having me back. Yeah, lots happened since last week. Product's been moving out the door very, very quickly from the warehouse, and we just received, literally like 2 days after the show, the production run of the Source water bottle, which we'll get into here in a little bit. A lot of beautiful things going on with this.
Yeah, I've got it. And the first thing I thought to myself was like, This is enormous. This is huge. It looks small back here, but it's literally enormous. And then I open it up and I could see the sacred geometry, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm putting everything in here. So we're going to talk about that. For people that want to raise their hand too, I want to make note. All you have to do, Allison says, in the menu at the bottom of the screen, there should be a little button called reactions. You click that and then raise your hand, and then I can find you. Peter, with what you're seeing happening at your offices and in your world, what is also kind of happening energetically that you're hearing from people about, or that you're seeing kind of in the spaces and in the contacts that you reach?
So I keep myself very dumbed down to what's going on in the world. I mean, obviously I know the major things that are happening, but I don't research them. I don't really read about them. And what that does is it cuts down on the stress level, cuts down on the fear, which then allows me to have clarity over everything I survey, especially when it comes to the world of creation. I think over the last 10 years, the world has slipped into a darker place on a lot of different levels. And at the same time, the amount of light workers that are coming out of the woodwork is now starting to go exponential.
Mm.
So what you saw dragging us back, I would say, is pretty much balanced now and is going to accelerate towards the light as we move forward, for
Now,
sure.
are you seeing people that you come across? Are they moving into more of a fear state? Are you seeing some people ascending, some people kind of descending? What do you see with individuals that you come across?
Fear.
Mm.
And what I try to explain to people is fear is an illusion. Fear is not real. Fear is the thought process of what might happen in the future.
Right.
I'm in fear of climbing up the ladder because I might fall off. It's an illusion. It's not real. It's a reality that you may or may not create. And the only way to experience it is to move through it. And 99.9% of the time, nothing happens. So the fear that's been created around the planet over the last 20 or 30 years comes to you from all different angles, from everything, from things you're reading. You're constantly being bombarded with frequencies that are meant to keep you stuck in fear, unable to fully develop your power as an individual and then step out. But with that said, there are amazing people in the world right now that a large percentage of them have engineering and technical backgrounds that
Mhm.
are stepping out. They quit their 9 to 5. They take the skill sets that they learned to start a business, and out of nowhere, they're creating these next generation somethings to help humanity.
I love that. And I'm reminded of a product that you have, the HFA, a safer way to travel. And when we think about travel, that's kind of what we're really doing on the planet. We are traveling through this reality as a spirit in a bodysuit, if you're driving in a car, you are in a car case. The car is a case. You're driving through the car. You're not actually the car. The car is a case around you. Well, this car case or carcass is the vehicle that my consciousness is moving through. Yet we can still feel fear. We can feel all of these energies, but we have to realize we are not it. And a safer way to travel through this reality with higher energy tools is that we get closer to that divine essence so we don't wind up being or becoming the fear maybe that the car case is moving through. I mean, what do you, when you think about moving through life with the right tools to accelerate technology, what is that doing for people?
It eliminates the fear. You
Mm.
know, over the years, as you know, I've developed a lot of different products and services to help people manifest stuff, whatever they want in their lives. And the biggest thing that always keeps a person where they are, not able to manifest anything, is one is not knowing what you want, but two is fear, right? Fear of failure is huge. And what people don't understand is that part of the learning process to becoming successful in whatever endeavor you do is failing
Mm.
along the way. You have to fail in order to understand, in order to grow and expand. You have to fail. And it's the fear of failure that keeps people in the construct, the box, their consciousness, the room. When they get stressed out, they build the walls a little thicker and the ceiling a little higher. And what they don't really understand is that, one of the first steps to manifesting is stepping outside your comfort zone. And stepping outside that box is just having the whole universe come in and support you in whatever your endeavors are. And that fear keeps people stuck. It keeps their mind closed off.
Yeah.
You go into a restaurant, and I guarantee you, if there's a family of four,
Mm.
three of them are going to be on their cell phones. Everyone's on their cell phones.
Yeah.
It's because the fear is drama. And as humans, we're addicted to drama. And I don't care who you are. We're all addicted to drama in some way, right? That can come in really any form. So it's the fear that's huge today that you need to be conscious about.
And the other thing, and I love the way this is going because we're getting behind the scenes to really manifestation, but fear contracts, fear tightens. It tightens our body, closes off our heart. We get into these cycles of hormones and excretions that are fear, cortisol, and all of these types of energetics that come from that. Our vagus nerve tightens up. Everything changes. And manifestation really is about being open. It's also about, at least to me, the heart energy being open, the possibilities being open. But once you're in fear, you are tightened down, you are closed off, and it becomes very hard to create anything new. And this is a great point. So if we were going to manifest using one of your tools or without it, how can we supercharge that? Give us maybe like whatever the step-by-step might be. What would you do? How would you recommend someone begin to manifest?
I would have a knowingness and a rock solid resolve. And I do this anyways. Do you know what it takes to come up with a product like this, push it out into the world, see it flourish and watch how people's lives are changed from it? Do you think for a second, if I had fear of creating something like this, would it even manifest in my head? The idea, would it help people out there? So what I'm saying is, in order to manifest, you have to have a rock solid resolve in knowing this, that what you want is going to come into fruition if you know what you want. And I say this over and over and over and over and over. You have to know what you want. You have to. And then what happens is we always say that the human imagination is the strongest, most powerful energy in existence. Well, it's not. It's the universe. So the universe always delivers your manifestation in a way that is more productive to the path that you're on, right? So do you remember the story I told about the four-leaf clover?
Actually, I don't. Might be a great story. We need a
Yeah.
little luck and possibility, right? What's the story?
So I very rarely, if ever, had released public betas of the software before
Hmm.
they were due. I always had my inner trusted circle, and we would beat it up, make sure there are no bugs, make sure everything was working. So for some reason, when the Source 5 came out several years ago, I decided to release it into the world as a public beta. So it would work for a month and then it was shut down. So there's a woman in one of the Scandinavian countries, and forgive me, I forgot, but she wanted to manifest a 4-leaf clover, and she had a rock solid knowingness using the software that it was just going to happen. Now, we all know that even finding a 4-leaf clover is probably a several million to one, I would think.
Right.
And remember, the universe always delivers it vastly more impressively than your human imagination. So she released it to the universe with the knowingness and a conviction that it was going to happen. So she was out running one day in the spring, and she decided to lie down in the field. And lo and behold, when she rolled over, there was a 4-leaf clover. Now, okay, that really doesn't sound that impressive. Now, she had this is a video testimonial, and she's running this video, right? And there was like a blue water bottle. And you could see this 4-leaf clover. And she puts her fingers on it and moves it. It was a 5-leaf clover.
Oh, wow.
5. Now, I don't know what the odds are for that, but they must be astronomical. So that is, point in case, probably one of the best manifestation testimonials I've ever received, because it embodies all of the parts. She had a knowingness, she had the conviction, she just absolutely knew it was going to happen, and she knew what she wanted. And one day the thought form's just out there, and the universe delivers it more practical than your human imagination can conjure up, and there it is.
And being so rare, it's almost like the universe wants to show you, right, that this absolutely could not have happened but for that manifestation intention that you wanted in this way. So we're going to show you, we're going to prove it to you in a way that you have no doubt. And this gets into that whole notion of like ask and then let go, and it is given. And she still had to follow the signs of going for the run, following whatever intuition was at work there. So with this, I want to get to some questions people may have about manifesting, especially now, and also any other questions that may come up. So Peter, can we take some callers, and if there's a way or maybe some guidance on what to use or when to get over those hurdles, if there's any things you've used or devices, let us know as well. Would that be okay?
Sure.
All right, we're going to go to Yvonne. She's had her hand raised for a while. I'll leave the video off because, not everybody wants to be on video. I don't blame y'all. I don't know if Yvonne does, but I'm going to ask her to, let me see if I can unmute her real quick. Let's see. Yvonne, can you unmute yourself if possible? Yep, she's done it.
Yes,
Yvonne,
I
hi,
did.
how are you
Can
doing?
you hear me fine?
Oh, perfectly. Wonders of
Okay,
technology.
let me
here.
ask my coworkers. I don't know if you hear a lot of noise. ¿Pueden bajar
No.
un poquito el celular, por favor, que tengo una llamada?
Oh my God.
Can you hear me better now?
Oh, perfect. I'm good. I think Peter, you can hear. Okay, Peter gives us a thumbs up.
Okay, well, basically, I think my main concern right now is I've been struggling for a couple of years because I'm working on my health. I'm working on my general finances are down in the floor, and it doesn't matter how much I work. I feel like I go backwards and backwards. Sometimes I feel like I'm in another universe, or like what I think and what I'm living is totally like opposite. I don't know if you can.
Okay, so Yvonne, stop right there. You have just self-sabotaged yourself at least 6 times during this conversation. So what I want you to do is recognize what just happened and then go back and tell us again differently, right? So everything I do goes backwards. Everything you said about your current situation had a huge negativity about it. So instead of talking in past tense, right, which you are feeding the past energy, keeping it alive in the moment, keeping you stuck in the moment, unable to move forward in the future, go back and rephrase everything you just said as I am moving through X, Y, and Z. And I envision very shortly in my reality that X, Y, and Z will come into fruition. Go ahead and say that again. Watch and just feel, Darius, just feel the vibe completely change. So Yvonne, take a second and think about that. And then,
Yeah, I'm glad you said that, Peter, because a couple of months ago, I did like this emotional intelligence workshop, and the thing that they told me is that I'm living in the past. So I don't know if I can rephrase my question. How do I change that now? How do I stop living in the past? Is that a better question? Because I don't know if I'm doing it without realizing
well,
it.
so
Apparently it was a big,
how do I stop living in the past? Well, you're not living in the past. You're in the moment. You know who you are and where you want to go. So what you need to do, there's an age-old saying, and this is particular for you in your situation. It says the truth shall set you free. Really? It can't. But facing the things that cannot be undone shall set you free. You understand the difference between those two statements?
a little bit, yeah.
Okay. So when you look back at something in your past, like you are right now, you get anxiety, you get creeped out, you get, your skin crawls, you get anxiety, you get the angst and everything that comes with it. And that's purposely fear generated to keep you stuck exactly where you are. But inside that black mass, there's a pinprick of light, because the darkness cannot exist without the light, but the light can always exist without the darkness. So when you look back at that black mass, find that pinprick of light and draw strength from it in the moment, freeing yourself in the moment, allowing yourself to move forward into the future.
Okay. It's all about the mind, changing those.
It's always about the conviction of moving forward and letting go of anything, facing the thing that cannot be undone. That's looking back at your past. You can't change the past.
I'm aware. I'm aware.
I love the statement of acknowledging where you are right now, which is one of the things Peter is saying is like, you could say, I had financial setbacks I've moved through, but now every day is getting better. Every day, new opportunities are coming in. Every day, new ideas, new awarenesses, new ways to receive abundance are being revealed to me, and I am climbing higher and higher every day. So we're aware of where we were, but now we're moving forward. And every day now we're seeing these opportunities come forward. Peter, what would you recommend? I mean, I know, as she's realizing this is an energetic, you've shared that there can be a lot of negativity and fear, and these things push down on a lot of us. A lot of us may not have that conviction like you do. I mean, you're just like, it's going to be done. But a lot of us, like, we've had, challenges that kind of beat us down. What do you recommend as a tool that helps somebody kind of open up, like you said, that pinprick of that higher consciousness and possibility? What's a tool that you have that might be helpful? Okay, say something because I can't see you yet.
So the HFA force generator is an absolute masterpiece when it comes to releasing yourself in the moment from past expectations, things that have kept you stuck in the moment. And you can Google this on the internet. You can talk to people, ask people about how they let go of their past when they were in a vortex. Okay, it may be in Sedona, maybe in Alaska, maybe at some point. And what they do is when that vortex energy is spinning up, they can align it to one or all of their chakras and just remove the past imprints that keep you stuck in the moment based on fear and allowing you to move forward. So when you have something like the HFA vortex, during the last show we did last time, I recommended putting it under your seat and sitting with your back straight and allowing that vortex energy to come up. That would be a phenomenal tool to help anyone in a situation where they continually go back into the past, like the hamster on the wheel, the catch-22.
All right. So what we're going to do, Yvonne, those are some suggestions. So, we're going to also be doing a process today, which is called piercing the membrane. And I'm going to tell you one of the favorite processes we have today with Peter. So think future orientated, begin speaking in the now as if it is done, looking and training the energy field, the mind, the eyes, the higher essence to look and to connect to something more. And that is exactly what we're going to be doing. I want to get to another guest here in just a moment. Go ahead and raise your hand if you can. Go to reactions and there's a little hand raise button. Go ahead and push that button. And then we are going to go to an iPad guest. I don't have a name, but I'm asking them to unmute. Let's see if we can get them unmuted here. Who do we have on the iPad? Can y'all hear us? Can we hear you?
Yes, can you hear me?
I sure can. Y'all are so adept at this. I'm like completely in first grade and y'all are already done with your PhDs. Who do we have?
Darius, thank you so much for taking my call. It's Alexandra in North Hollywood.
Hi, Alexandra. Welcome.
Hi. So I'd like to know how this thing would help me with, I'm in a total state of overwhelm all the time. I'm like a stay-at-home single mom with 2 kids, except they're 2 dogs. And the little one, the Cocker Spaniel, has a liver issue, and I have to make her raw food twice a day, and then managing her medication. And then the big one is a golden retriever who's like totally doesn't do anything I tell him to do. And I'm always angry because he doesn't sit and stay for more than 30 seconds and he gets up again. So I'm always managing these things, and then I have to go food shopping. And like today, I was supposed to go to food shopping, but I had such an agoraphobic fit.
Okay.
Very bad not having food at home. So anyway, and the bigger issue is that I don't have time to do my purpose. I have all my projects sitting on my desk that I'm supposed to actually sit down on my butt on my desk and relax and then have total cognitive function and then writing things. And I just don't have time to do that between managing my household and the shopping and the food making, doctor's visits. I just don't have time for my purpose. And I have this fear of I'm going to die without doing my mission that I came here for.
I love your question. I want to say that's a very common, pertinent thing that we get so busy, so mired down in the day-to-day that we feel like we don't have time for our purpose, for what we're here to do and be. Peter, what would you say for Alexandra? This is a very common thing for a lot of people, and this is a great question. So, Alexandra, I want to thank you for asking this. Peter, what are your thoughts here?
So, time management is the first thing that really kind of jumped out. And then she started talking about her purpose, and that really shifted my line of thinking in there. And energetically, she has dozens of curveballs coming at her all day, every day. And it's hard to quantify and understand the statement I'm about to make. Your experience is perfection. Right now, your experience is absolute perfection, and you are exactly where you needed to be up until the moment that you asked that question on this show today. So you just have you taken the time, 1 minute, 2 minutes, to just ask the universe for help, to say, hey, come on, I want to get on with this. Something needs to change. I can't see a way out of it. I got curveballs, energetic curveballs that are coming at me all day. What's the deal? Have you done that?
Yes, I have. And what came back was that I should rehome my big dog, because I'm always in the state of anger because it doesn't do anything.
Okay, so we already know everything about what's happened. We don't want to bring it up anymore because you make my job that much tougher, because you're pushing away as we're moving down. Can you go ahead and get a piece of paper and a pen quickly?
Yes, I got it. Yeah, piece of paper and a pen. Got it right here.
Just draw a box on that paper.
Okay.
And then in the box, just put a plus sign from top to bottom, left to right.
And Peter, can everyone do this? Is this something we could all do?
No, this is just for her right now in the moment.
All right. All right.
This is going to break up her reality and allow her to move forward.
Oh, man.
This is like energetic surgery. 911, let's go. In the top left corner, the top left quadrant, I'd like you to draw the sign for infinity any way you can.
Okay.
And actually, you know what? There is, let's have everybody do this.
Oh, man.
This
Awesome.
will be cool.
Okay. So maybe start again real quick.
Yeah, I will.
Some people might not have been paying attention. I got my paper out right here. Okay.
So everyone, just go ahead and grab a piece of paper and a pen. And what you're going to want to do is get a glass of water. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's coming through now. Get a glass of water, too.
I'm going to grab this thing.
No,
bottle of water.
We don't want you to dematerialize with this one.
You want me to like start floating in the air on camera here?
No. Okay, so everyone, just go ahead and draw a box on that piece of paper. And then put a big plus down through top to bottom, left to right. So you have 4 quadrants. In the top left quadrant, I want you to draw the sign for infinity.
Okay.
In the top right quadrant, I want you to draw a circle that the circle touches the top, the bottom, the left, and the right of that quadrant. Yeah. So if you look at my screen and watch my finger, the circle would go like this, right? It would touch just like that on the top right quadrant. In the middle of that circle, I just want you to draw a little dot. Bottom left quadrant, you're going to want to make the equal sign with a forward slash going across both of them. So the forward slash starts at below the bottom left. It just goes up to the top right. And just remember, folks, there's no right way, no wrong way. There's only the perfect way. So if I'm moving too fast, just keep up with what you can and it'll be perfect for you. In the bottom right quadrant, I want you to start in the middle and just draw a spiral and have it just get larger and larger. And you're going to do, this is important, you're going to do a counterclockwise spiral. And just draw it just like that until you get to the sides of the box.
Oh, that's what I did. Okay.
Okay, and then I want you to take your glass of water, your bottle of water, and just put it right in the middle on there.
Okay.
And I want everyone to just kind of lean forward and look down through the water. Now, if you have a glass that's solid, it's fine. If you have a bottle you can't see through, it's fine, but just look down through the center of what you're looking at, and just for 4 or 5 seconds, so your peripheral vision gets the alignment of what we just kind of drew in your mind's eye. Very simple. And then I'd like everyone to just kind of sit back, close your eyes, and straighten your back. Now remember, this is a way to help this woman on the call manage her life. But for everyone else, you can utilize it to help manifest your dreams one time. One time. Know what you want. Speak with conviction, knowing this. Straighten your back, close your eyes, take 3 deep breaths through your mouth, exhaling through your nose. Put your attention back on the image that you saw when you were looking down, and direct that consciousness, that creation, into your water. Oh, there was a big crack in the matrix with the woman on the phone. Did you feel that one?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, and then just go ahead and drink as much as you want. Notice the taste and the texture. Wow. And then more importantly, where is it moving in your body energetically?
Wow. This tastes amazing. I got a few other things working here. Wow. Oh my goodness. I'm going to show everybody. I don't know if I did it. I kind of reversed it because I don't think this is going to show. I reversed it because I wanted people to be able to see it on Zoom, and maybe it's not 100% correct, but I got something about like that.
Yeah, but you see, here's the beauty of what we're doing. There's no right way. There's no wrong way. There's only the perfect way for you.
Mm.
What happened?
Holy cow. That is interesting. Okay.
What happened? I had something rising from the bottom of my, as I was sitting, from my root chakra, and it was rising up into my brain. And then I boom, clarity. And it's still in my brain, and my scalp is itching now like crazy. I'm scratching my head. So my crown chakra is itching, so something is going on there.
Now, Peter, what's the next thing you would suggest? Right now, what does she do?
So for her, when I popped up and said, oh, there was a shift right there. So energy reacts differently with everyone's different. Energy reacts with them a little different. Scratching is a sign of a detox. The body just released something and it got itchy. So it's all good. It's all good. So I would make a statement that basically says your reality is going to shift very quickly now.
Nice.
And
Yep.
it's going to help free up time so you can serve your purpose.
Thank you so much. Yeah, that's what I needed. Thank you, Peter. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you, Alexandra. That's pretty amazing. Actually not amazing, just very predictable. With Peter, there's always something amazing going on. And I want to do this. If you've got another question, I'm loving this format. It's really cool where we can go in and we can help people individually and get something that helps us all. Go ahead and raise your hand. You can go to reactions. You can look for the little raise hand there and just raise your hand. We'll take someone else. What you were using there was essentially geometric, some sacred symbols, some higher dimensional symbols. Reminds me a little bit of this type of thing here where we've got some patterning and things. Explain what that was doing, what something like this is doing with the energies. I'll let that focus a little there maybe. But what's happening when we start working with things like this, Peter?
So are you talking specifically the pattern on the front and the back?
Man, any of these patterns, because the one thing I notice in everything you do, and I'm looking at the water bottle here. I mean, people may not realize, and I'm not sure if my camera's going to pick this up. You can see that right there. There's patterning. There's geometrics. This looks like the phi ratio or, one of these. What's going on with all this stuff? I've got some behind me. Explain it to people that may not be aware of what really is significant about all these things that are drawn, that are shapes, that are proportions, that are things showing up in some of your devices and what we're talking about.
Okay. But before we get there, I want you to look at something quickly. And it's specific about the eye. I want you to look at this little part right here and tell me what you see. You have never noticed this before, but I'm about to blow your mind. That little part right there looks like the little twinkle in the eye right there. There's two little.
Right.
Okay. The larger one is the 7 systems of the Palladian, the star system. And the smaller one has the golden ratio squiggly. And you'll notice that the colors are very detailed from the lower chakra all the way to the top chakra, right? Then, of course, we have the sign for infinity. Then we have the golden ratio formula. Then we have, I'm sorry, you can't really see that on here. A nucleus going on. We just sat there and we just drew some sacred geometry. Michael D'Angelo drew all kinds of geometry that was hidden in plain sight in his drawings. I've talked for years about true name, right? Everything in existence has a true name. And if you know what it is, you have power over its dominion to help use it for the light. And the true name can come in the form of a spoken tone, a word, a color, or a symbol. So the symbols that we were using today hold power, a lot of power. And one thing I have been gifted with is this ability to, on the fly, in real time, build a solution. Well, it started out as building a solution for an individual. And then when you take a step back and you become the observer and not the observee, you can then look at everything free of judgment and emotion and see the bigger picture. So at that point, it escalated into a much larger process. And the process is just in the back of my head. All the stuff is just coming. It's aligning itself. And then we added another layer to it. We added water was the catalyst, right? To bring about the changes in the body. So all of the symbology that we created inside that box was a spoken dialect of universal language to help transform everyone's life one time on this call. That's it. It's easy if you can see it,
Right.
but you can't understand it until you experience it. Like, so think about this, right? What do you do when you put your sneakers on?
You just tie your shoes, put them on and tie them.
Right. Okay. When you put your shoes on, where does your mind go? Are you thinking about tying a shoe? Wait,
No.
when you learned how to tie it? Exactly. It's automatically, right?
Automatic.
Because you have experienced the correct way to build the knot, to tie the knot. And then once you have that pattern in your head, that experience, it's just automatic. It just happens. Your mind is somewhere else. I got to run to wherever. I got to throw on my sneakers. Manifesting is the same thing. Once you have a success, once you have conviction, confidence, knowing this, there is no question ever.
Yeah.
It's just going to happen. And it's the same thing. We just did.
Yeah. There's almost no thinking. It just happens, right?
We went from Marilyn's story to a group process and no time flat. And I was concentrating on the individual the whole time, but yet the universe came in and made it infinitely more powerful and more productive and better for everyone by making it a group process.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love it. What I want to do, we're getting a few comments coming in. One person said, my box totally distorted. When I looked down on it, I could feel the water is moving in my fingertips. Feels weird, feels cool. As all of this is happening, we're going to be jumping in with the process. But Peter, one of the things you mentioned was power. And I thought about like power in the world, or sort of like 3D power. And then I thought about spiritual power and sort of harnessing the higher spiritual powers, the higher energetics, the higher quantum powers, and maybe even the force of everything, everything in the quantum at our fingertips. How do you see spiritual power versus physical power, right? Maybe somebody has strong muscle, right? But then their spiritual power is weak. What's important to maybe recognize about all of our spiritual powers here today?
That you are the vessel by which the great work is done and nothing more. You are nothing. You have nothing. And power implies ego. And ego shuts down spiritual flow. So, when I was raging about having confidence and knowing this, yes, those qualities are very real, but the underlying tone of it is, I really have nothing. I'm just the vessel by which the great work is done. When I work with clients to help them through issues and situations in their life, whatever they are, however they are, you can go to 1,000 healers, 1,000 whoever's to help fix your problem. And 999 won't be able to do boo nothing for you. It's only one that has the contract of the time and the place for the great work to be done will actually shift you, right? And as that soul contract comes into fruition, you knowing this, that you are just the conduit by which the great work is done, also starts to come in to fruition. I'm always looking for ways to pay back the universe for things that I've created, successes that I've had, people I've helped, those kind of things. And I decided to ink both of my arms with the 13 I am symbols, right?
Oh, look at that. You were talking about that last time, tattoo artist, and I was like, I want to see these tattoos.
and when you Now, tattoos aren't for everybody, and that's fine. But when you are the living embodiment of something that you've created,
Right.
you become infinitely a larger conduit by which the great work is done. I almost slipped and said infinitely more powerful, but I corrected myself.
Sure. Conduit. The channel.
So,
Yeah.
going back to your original question, symbology, mathematic perfection, chaos, quantum, it's
Mm,
all intertangled, all of it.
mm. Man, you live by these energetic symbols, by these geometric vortices, by
Yeah.
these flows of sacred geometry and order. So yeah, man, he's not just putting it on bottles, folks. He's putting it on himself. And I love that because like you said, you are becoming the work. So the invitation today and every day is don't be who you were in the past. Be the embodiment of universal flow. Allow the universe to work through you. Allow the higher essence of your connection to everything just to come through you, Alexandra. You be the work. You be the energy. You be the divine. And even as you're taking the dog somewhere, even as you're preparing their food, you're not, oh my gosh, I'm a human doing this and I'm so busy, I'm never going to get done. No, you are the divine doing it right then. And there is infinite time. There's infinite wisdom. While you're making that food, you might say, you know what? I'm going to make a cookbook for dogs on how to deal with certain health conditions through organic or whole food for dogs. As you're going through and you're doing, you might say, I'm going to do time management for busy people. You could have infinite ways the universe is trying to show you absolutely how you can do that just by acknowledging what you are. And that is something we all can do. And Peter, we're getting a lot of questions coming in here, and I want to get to these, but what I want to do is I want to do a process called piercing the membrane, not 3.0, not 3.1, 3.3 activation. So tell me what this is about, and then everyone, we're going to jump in and do this today.
So years ago, I had an experience, and I can't remember all of the details around it, but I felt like, oh, actually, that's not true. It was my wake-up experience.
Mm.
So I've been online, like not online computers, but online with the universe for about 20 years now. And when I came online, it was instant. And for that first 6 weeks, I thought I had gone literally insane. But the one thing that kept me going was I was becoming a better version of myself than I had ever been before. And during that process, the old me was being peeled back.
Mm.
It was dissolving. It was like I was shedding my skin. The old me was just didn't exist anymore. And no matter how much I wanted to just go back to sleep, I couldn't. You can't.
Yeah.
So again, that was a learning experience that was shelved for years later. And 2 years ago, maybe 3 now, we decided to release piercing the membrane to kind of bring people this experience that allows them to shed who they were before and then energetically pull them through this almost like a bubble. And as we get into the experience, you'll see it. But the reason it's version 3.3 is because Jan was pushing me for a new version of it. So we called it 3.3. It's actually 3.1, but 3.3 is a magical number. So 3.3 it is. And the product which is what you're about to experience, has been refined over the years. So we're going to go ahead and jump into that now.
Fantastic. All right, everyone. Please don't be driving, experiencing this. Let's do it.
So yes, you're not gonna want to. I don't know who would drive and listen to this show. You never know what's going to happen.
That's
So
right.
you just everyone's going to need a glass of water. I want you to raise your left hand over at about 3 inches and spread your fingers. Let me know when you feel that energy running down through your hand into the water. Once you feel that energy, put your attention on the water and out loud repeat those 8 magical words. I honor the space in which you exist. Once that energy flow increases through your hand into the water, go ahead and drink as much as you want. Now, I just want you to get comfortable. You can lie down. You can get relaxed in your chair. And for the next little bit, you're going to be listening to what I'm saying. And it's going to be a guided meditation. So just go ahead and close your eyes and take 3 really deep breaths through your mouth, exhaling through your nose. In a minute, you're going to start to feel like you're floating. And the vision I want you to pull up in your head is you're just floating under the water, and your fingertips and your feet, your toes are just floating and moving around. You feel perfectly safe. You're just floating. And if you open up your mind's eye and look, you'll notice that you're in this infinite ocean and you're looking up at the waves above you. And you're going to start floating up towards the surface with your face just moving towards it. All of the cells in your body are starting to be flooded with this light energy from around you. And you're just very gently floating towards that surface. And now maybe your face is bumping up against underneath these waves. Maybe it feels like plastic or an energetic field you can't move through. But you know, on the other side, there's new levels of creativity, positivity, and beauty as we shed what was to bring on what will be. In a second, I'm going to reach my hands down, which you will see in your mind's eye. And I'm going to very gently just pull you through. I'm putting my hands through now, and I'm very gently grabbing yours and starting to pull you through. You're almost through now. I'd like everyone to very slowly open your eyes and realize whatever needs to be realized. The realization that something is vastly different.
Wow. it feels like I just got pulled through a membrane, through a through a wall into another world. Like, getting pulled out of a bubble where it was only like this much possibility of bumping up against the walls. It's like I just got pulled out, man. You pulled me into another world, brother. Thank you. Um, wow. Okay. I gotta adjust to this. I want to hear what everyone's feeling. Amazing. Goodness gracious. Even seems brighter in here. So y'all let me know what's going on. Peter, boy, I'm gonna be silent for a little while. Anything else you wanna share or say here? Because I know some people are coming back. This was like a whole other world, just kind of from one to the other. It's God, take some time to adjust here.
You know,
Hmm.
these types of sessions are done over obviously a much longer period of time.
Hmm.
When I work with people and they are much more detailed in the intricacies of how they're done. But what you should be feeling is tingling all over your body.
Hmm.
Like if you ever had face abrasion done, where they basically sandblast your face. That old skin is gone. The new skin, because the cells were communicating more effectively through light. If you close your eyes, you'll see your chakras just light up from top to bottom. If you put your hands out to the side, you'll just be radiating a massive amount of power. This is your power. This is how you were meant to live.
Hmm. Wow. Man, amazing stuff. Folks, let us know what you're feeling. Wow. And we do have more questions coming in and all sorts of things kind of happening here with folks. And Peter, one of the things I want to do as people are collecting themselves and kind of coming back in, I want to talk about something we didn't mention very much this time, but one of your newest creations, the force generator. Can you show everybody this device and give us a little bit of the story of what this is and maybe how it fits into kind of how we opened the call, which was getting out of that heavy, dense energy, getting out of that membrane, if you will, that locks us into one potentiality. Alexandra talked about the potentiality of I'm always busy. I never have time. I never can live my purpose. Yvonne was the potentiality of what she was creating in the past regarding money, seeing that that was like the future, but that's not true. How can we use something like this to get out of these potentialities that maybe we do not want and that no longer fit us anymore?
So I like to think of seeing the invisible and doing the impossible, right? That's has been kind of my personal motto since
Mm,
I've undertook this journey. And the leap from, or I shouldn't say the leap, but the process by taking physical products under my wing and then expanding the company beyond the software role that we had for years was a huge undertaking. And the inspirations that I got to create something like the HFA force generator was that I actually experienced the vortexes in Sedona. And everything I create, I like to make simple, beautiful, and powerful and effective in how they deliver. And I know that a lot of people can't just get up and go to Sedona because A, it's very expensive. B, it's restrictive. Some people can't travel. So how can I take the power of a vortex and all the beautiful things that they deliver and build it? I had no idea. I was like, I don't know. I was watching some show about ley lines, and one guy was on this side, one guy was on this side, and they went whoop, whoop, like in real time in the video, and it was crazy. I was like, oh, I have to build that. So I put my mind to it. The base idea came. I sat down with my manufacturer and their engineers, and I said, we are going to build the world's first spiritual vortex. Now, some of the engineers were new and not used to how I work with this company. They're like, what? I'm like, yeah, we're going to do it. So the inspiration, the technical challenges, they all kind of come into focus, right? But your job, my job, anybody's job is to enjoy the journey to get to the end result, which is this product in the MDM store on your show. And you just put your thoughts into all your creativity, all your love, all your passion into what the end result is going to look like. and how is it going to be unique in all of the world and serve people for years to come. And if you have an HFA force generator, you know exactly what I'm talking about, because the power of this little device is undeniable in how it brings Sedona to you, how it brings the power of natural vortexes to you. And you can put it in your pocket and you're walking around with the power of creation in your pocket. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that.
Yeah, I love it. I'm going to share a little bit about this, and I'm showing the screen right now. A lot of people, because of the camera, you can't actually see it as clear as you can see it on the page here. This is the HFA force generator. This is all new from Peter, and if you want to check it out, follow along, because we're gonna unpack a few more things here, because there's a lot more to share, and we have some more questions to get to. And Peter, you've been on fire today with a lot of the amazing processes and ways that you've been sharing stuff. So it's super exciting to see you get your hands dirty and solve these challenges that they're really like energetic misalignments that we can very quickly, using sacred geometry, using vortices, using our own energetic flow, quickly move out of. And even Alexandra, as we just worked on a moment ago, she wrote into us and she basically said, I feel exactly what Peter explained. I've been writing dog food recipes for years, and I was getting stopped in not knowing how to publish them. And I get the sense that that's starting to come through for her now, to where, as we said, like, you're in the flow, and whatever you're doing is aiding in creating what you want. It is creating more opportunities. It is in that moment everything. And that's the thing that we're opening up here, is how do you take what normal people are doing, but then at the same time turn it into enormous spiritual flow possibilities and abundance. And it's not what you're doing, it's how are you doing it. How are you doing what you're doing, and in what state? And Peter, anything you want to share about that? And then I'm gonna keep going. Again, a lot of questions coming in as well. But what would you say about how you are doing things, and what the energy of some of these devices is doing in how we do things in our world?
Great question. So I have witnessed miracles, literally hundreds of them over the past couple of decades in different forms, but the main form would be um, product ideas, the delivery of the products, the end result of the products. And the one thing that, and this is in direct relation to the woman with the dog food recipes. I'm about to help her understand. My conviction and understanding that I'm always in the perfection that I need to be and that the project will get done is enhanced when the carrot is shown. And the carrot is always here. You just can't see it. And only when the next evolution of yourself and whatever you're creating is ready does the carrot get shown. So for the woman with the dog food recipes, maybe you had to write a certain amount of them for the preset, the carrot that can show up at any second. And maybe that carrot is, some big publisher online found you somehow through happenstance, whatever, and boom, you now have a book of recipes being published in the world. But the carrot's right here. And only when the universe starts to put these energetic connections together that make sense in your reality, that things come into fruition. So when you're creating projects like this, you have to understand that there's a flow and a balance that is maintained regardless of what you're thinking all the time. And as you move through the experience, you will then wake up in the dream, which is when the product is delivered, or when you find out why you're writing the dog food recipes is delivered.
Wow.
And in that experience, the first time you have it, the light bulb goes on. You just get it. It's like tying your shoe. You just do it. There's no more thinking. There's just this innate conviction, this way of being driven. You forget about being passionate and motivated because they're only temporary. You are driven. You're confident. You're knowing this. You are on fire to see whatever your endeavor is through to completion.
Yeah, I absolutely love that. You cease to be the individual. You become the conduit of flow, of the divine acting through you. And, Alexandra and anyone else, in her case, those dogs are the divine, and they're also a part of you, gifting you the opportunity to now bring whatever it is to the rest of the world, to the rest of the dogs on earth that need that. And you start to see it separate from, oh, this is a distraction from my life's work. This is taking me away from that. Or Yvonne, this challenge is like going to be the end of me. No, this challenge is the beginning of you. This challenge is the new beginning opening up. And again, where do we get that? Well, go to a vortex. You're going to get it, Go ahead, Peter.
You become the experience.
Yeah. 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 And so everything we've kind of talked about, as I think about it today, it's almost like the symptom of the mind, not the universal I, the universal essence. Hello. Cats are showing up here. One of the things that I would say is we want to get to that universal essence. And we have Candy was asking, where's the page? Let me share the screen. It's at uwealthrevolution.com/Peter, Peter 25. And what we've been focusing on today is this brand new product. It's in the harmonic field amplifier line. It's called the Force Generator. And it's the power of a spiritual vortex in the palm of your hand. And what happens in vortexes, I know because I've been to them at many different places.
Stays in vortexes.
What's that, Peter?
He said, what happens in vortexes? I said, stays in vortexes.
That actually is true. Yeah, some weird stuff happens in vortexes. People get all kind of lovey-dovey crazy in vortexes. You got to be careful. When you're in a vortex, you get the answers without trying. You make the connections that your mind is always trying to make in the hustle and the bustle and the fear and the worry and the anxiety. You start to actually see the bigger picture immediately in a vortex. So as Peter says here, it's designed to give you a burst of purpose, to give you the catharsis and soul healing, to see through the noise of daily life and discover your own purpose within, without the physical blocks of events, space, people, and everything else. Yvonne in the office dealing with all that, that's fine, but be in the vortex. And Peter, yeah, there's a lot of components here. Tell me about the magnets. I'm always fascinated with magnetics. Obviously, I think that a lot of the great, in my mind, a lot of the great things on Earth, like pyramids and otherwise, they used energetics in different polarities to move giant structures and monoliths and stuff. And some of that may involve magnetics. I'm not an expert. What is the reason, or what is the purpose of magnetics in the form of spiritual tools?
So the construction of this particular device, HFA Force Generator, has so many things going on with it. They're almost hard or next to impossible to quantify in human language. So we'll start off with the basics. You have a magnet in the middle, that looks like one of those CR batteries that you would find in maybe an Apple AirTag. They look like a nickel or a quarter, right? So that would be the innermost layer. Then you have on both sides this beautiful geometric design with a little hole in it that actually exposes the magnet underneath, right? And then you have quartz crystal on top of that on both sides. So in essence, what you have is an energy field being created that is pushing through that little hole on the top and the bottom, and it's vibrating like crazy. And it's pushing the quartz crystal is containing it, and it's going like this. But it's scattered at that point. There's no way to create the vortex. That's where the three magnets, again, the number three, here contain that energy and focus it in that cone, in that ice cream cone. So that's the premise of how the device works. Now, it also has a lot to do with the mathematics that are involved in creating it, in the dimensions, different things along those lines. It also has to do with the universe saying, yes, this device is allowed to work, and we're giving this vessel the conduit to build these and get them out into the world of the people that have a calling to experience what they deliver.
Amazing. I did not know how the energetics and how the energy pressing out through the device actually works. I really appreciate that. And I can see this. We're getting a lot of questions. One of the things I want to mention for everybody is we've got these devices through Peter now in stock through him, able to be shipped, and we've actually been able to get them at a very substantial discount. The other really cool thing about this, while we have them in stock, is we also have what y'all have been seeing me holding right here, the water bottle. And I just got mine 2 days ago. These are fantastic. And the first time I drank water out of this, I mean, just blown away. We talk about charging water a lot, Dr. Emoto. And what Emoto did was he took basically little pieces of paper, and he would write words on the paper or put symbols on the paper. And he found that it changed the structure of the water. Well, at the bottom of this water bottle, if you take off the bottom here, there is the sacred geometry right there. And Peter, since people are going to be getting these, I believe they're still included. I think we're going to be able to open this up. We got a few more in. What does this actually represent? This symbol right here. Is this the phi ratio, PHI?
That is
the phi ratio?
That is the formula for the golden ratio.
Okay, correct.
It is found in everything living in nature, and it houses a tremendous amount of positive energy.
Okay.
And that is just the symbology, just being on the water bottle at the base pushes all of that energy up. Now, of course, you can put in the bottom, you can put sacred stones, you can put crystals, you can put a HFA force generator, which I don't know how that would react. You could put another type of liquid in there if you wanted to, but it's all part of the intricacies of how the source water bottle works. And of course, on the top, the energy is being pushed down through another sacred symbology. Then you have the huge one, which is the source on the side. And for the first time on a product, the MDMI, which just takes it to a whole nother level. So everything that we create, every dimension, every view, all of it has to do with bettering the product and what it delivers. So this is my first attempt into the world with a water bottle. So, okay, what does that even mean? Well, as soon as you put water in there, it's instantly different.
Yeah.
But now think about it. I have a whole product line of software, which you get 30 days free access to charge water based on intention. Now imagine with the power that you already have in the water bottle, using AquaSync to charge your water in here. I have not done it yet personally, but I'm going to.
Oh man.
And
Oh man.
so
Possibilities are endless. Yeah.
because now you are stacking real world ideas on top of each other. And you had the best one yet. I'm going to put my force generator in the bottom. Well, that's fantastic. Now let's charge it with AquaSync or Aquaware or the source for manifestation. I mean, you see where you have just become a limitless being just by thinking and expressing. So it's that type of thinking that we really want when we're creating products to help people ultimately.
Oh, amazing. I'm gonna talk for a second here because we have just like the singular view of the speaker, so people can see this. This is the symbol, and this is actually the bottom of the water bottle. So when you put water in, it's actually charging this symbol, which is this sacred ratio, this divine structure. And again, when that comes into your body, think about the potential that things that are discordant, energetics that aren't aligned to the divine ratio, to the divine highest order. We know everything is love. Everything, I believe, comes from love. So now we could take this energy of divine order and bring it into our body and consume the water. Now, here is the force generator. Peter said, yeah, put it in there and then screw that on the water bottle here. And now charge your water, charge your intentions. Why don't you take a piece of paper and put it in here with the force generator? Okay, I want to manifest perfect, whole, and complete abundance, perfect, whole, and complete well-being, perfect, whole, and complete vitality, perfect, whole, and complete appreciation for the divine being that I am, or any other thing, and consume it. So a lot of ways. I mean, as Peter says, become an infinite creator. Now, some people were asking, how do you get one? We've got a limited number. They're not going to last long because we've got the spiritual vortex in the palm of your hand right here. That's the force generator. This is all new. And for a limited time, Peter is giving anybody that orders these the free source water bottle. It's physical. It's going to be shipped. It's going to come in a big box, and you're going to get it. So once the order comes in, then it's going to go out, and this goes out, and you get both. And just to be clear, if that's what you want, it's package A, to my understanding. Let me just double check. It's option 1, package A, right there. So we've got it, and you can even do it for 2 payments at $99. So that's really pretty awesome. And again, the water bottle is free. And use it, create, explore your world, explore your reality, explore your dreams,
Build your world.
yeah. There you go, man. Build your world. Amazing. Any ways that I don't know, any ways that you want to share how we can play in reality that maybe you've been working on with some of these tools? And I know everyone's going to do their own thing, but just anything you've been doing or playing with it might be interesting to us. And I want to say real quick, a lot of people are loving this. They're literally saying, this is mind-blowing. I can't believe it. Thank you for explaining how it works. How do we get the water bottle? I just got clarification that the water bottle is open for the other options as well. So that's pretty cool. So everybody's going to get one if you order anything at uwealthrevolution.com/Peter25. Another person said, I've been debating making a 2-hour road trip to Sedona since I started this energetic spiritual quest. Now I won't have to go there, and I can have access to it all the time, says Krista. But I'm going to say maybe get the vortex, the force generator in your hand, go to Sedona, experience both, have it all. Why not? Do we get it when the second payment is complete? Yes, generally with our physical items, just so we're, once the second payment is done, we send everything out. Peter, yeah, let's go back to that. Playing. Give me some ideas of what you're doing
No,
with some of this stuff.
I can only speak to the effects of my experience, and that is to be a child. An infant sees the world as magic up until 8 or 9 months, and then conditioning starts and they lose that magic. When I woke up, I was able to get that innocence and childlike energy back for product creation, creativity. So, pretty much every day I use that childlike energy to see the world, and that allows this kind of unbiased, unblocked stream to just come through you and deliver just amazing ideas. Now, that doesn't mean just because you got a great idea, it's going to make a viable product. So there's a lot of filtering that you learn over time on how to do. Because I would have 1,000 products by now if I, but you normally get, when you're in that stasis, you get urges and hints and things that you can pretty much read like road markers, pointing the direction on how you want to go. But be in that childlike energy as much as you can. If you have kids, you know exactly what I'm talking about. That's where you want to be as an adult. That's where magic is born. And you just bring it through in whatever your endeavors are. And it shows, that energy it's undeniable. It's almost like, have you ever been around someone that's just completely negative, even though they didn't even open their mouth? You just get repelled by it. Well, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. When someone's exuberating that childlike energy, you're drawn to it naturally, right?
I think children at some level are, of course, closest to their divine reason for being here. And so they haven't had all of that indoctrination as to, how you need to behave as an adult. You need to get in line. You need to only speak when you raise your hand. And we may, and all of this stuff that sort of puts these conditions on us. So yeah, be like a child and play in this game that is the flow of life and create some amazing possibilities. So Alexandra, play, with the recipes. Don't work at it. Don't say, oh, I'm going to work. I'm going to play. I'm going to play at these. I'm going to play at creating these. Make it a game. Dance around the kitchen. Dance around the apartment. Everything. Make it play. Make money. A game, all of it is play for Yvonne and for everyone else. I want to share, there's a few more options I want to get to, and I want to get to a question that our dear Destiny was asking, but for clarification on a few other things, if you look, which side it looks, if you look back here, people can see I've got another device, and this is one that's been tremendously popular. I think probably one of the most popular things we've ever done. And it's down there on the page. It's the harmonic field amplifier version 2. Let me just show people. This is reverse, so I have a hard time. It's back over here. I'm going to grab it in a minute. Tell folks a little bit about this device. Let me grab mine really quick so we can show folks.
So this is second generation technology. The first one was much, much larger and heavier. And of course, as my understanding of how things work behind the scene grows, products typically shrink and become infinitely more powerful. This is
like the computer, right? I mean, the first computers were, the size of my house, right? Now it's like a tiny little thing in our watch, right?
So the HFA Plus for Home and Office version 2 was born out of a necessity to clear, there needed to be a baseline where you live and where you work. So you can have beautiful energy, but if you're walking into a negative environment, you're going to get stressed. It's going to tax all of it. So this was ground zero. Uh, this was the second product or the third product I ever created. And the first one was a massive hit. So when we created the second one, it just went to a whole nother level. And this product is designed to clear your office or your home of all negativity. Okay. And what people really need to understand is that when you look at the intricacies of how the silver inlay that goes all the way around, the silver inlay here, the fact that it's made from the purest copper and silver commercially available, the fact that we have 3 0 points that create and stabilize energy. We have sacred symbology again on this particular device. And as this device is activated, the sphere that gets created, nothing that vibrates lower can penetrate it at all on any level. So as soon as it's activated, things start to clear almost instantly. And I'm going through my memory records of what people have been saying about this device, but I clearly remember someone being a pack rat. And as soon as they activated this, boom, it cleared up. They started cleaning stuff up. Now, the beauty of these products are they're based in quantum principles, okay? So if you work in an office and it's completely negative, you probably don't want to leave this just hanging out and around because it's going to be weird. So what you can do is you can activate it at home by putting your attention on your office space and then activating it, and it will instantly go to work from home, clearing your office space. If you have one at home, you can kind of put it somewhere in the middle of your house. Just a suggestion, doesn't need to be there. It instantly starts cleaning the energy. This product on the MDM website is very expensive. Why? Because it does miracles for people. So at this price point, we're practically giving them away.
Yeah, we've been really fortunate. I got to share for people asking, oh, where's the website? Definitely can go to Peter's site for sure. Check out everything he's doing. What we've been able to do through Jan and just Peter's graciousness and Jan's tenacity is get these at a huge discount. And I mean, this is solid, super heavy duty stuff, and it's very pure energetically. It weighs a ton. You could see I have it in my office right behind me because I want to transmute all the stuff that comes at me, and it's just simply amazing. So this one, just to share what's relevant about it for those of you that are dealing with a lot of negativity in the environment. You want to clear that environment. It charges the atmosphere, and it also creates a more peaceful space, and also can help you make your visions a reality. So you put it wherever you want to cleanse out negative energy, but then also you can focus your intention for 10 seconds, put your hands on it kind of like this, and just focus your intention about what you want to create. So you can see I'm kind of just doing that. If I closed my eyes, focusing my intention, and now you're charging it. So while it's cleaning the environment, it's charging the energy of your intention into that clear space. So massive, massive stuff. Now, for people wondering too, I'm going to jump real quick just to say this is kind of like the best of the best, Peter, but this is for essentially having something with you, right? That is kind of doing the same thing, but just around your body space. Explain what the mini V2 is doing.
So this has probably been the most popular item I've ever created. This is a thumb activated quasi biometric activation device that you wear on a copper or silver chain that will keep your body's energetic field clear of all negativity. So I know you personally have experienced, and other people have experienced, that there is no anti-tarnish on this device. So when you get it, it's flawless, it's beautiful, it's radiant.
Hmm.
You can wear it in your house for weeks on end. It looks like the day it came out of the box. You go to the mall for a couple hours and it will literally turn black.
You're around that
Tarnish.
negative boss.
Oh yeah.
You're around that negative uncle, or maybe something in your life or someone that's stressful, and then it's picking up that energy. And yeah, for people trying to move forward, but there's like this wall around them. Like this is another way to keep your energy pure. Like be in the world, but not of the world, right? We want to just kind of flow, guide through the world, and then just create and create. You keep your energy high enough, you're always going to be creating, because you're just getting the downloading. Like Peter, this is what's happening. He's getting it, and he's just like, okay, I create. Okay, I create. And his
Exactly.
setback, your setback might be 20 minutes. I'm like, okay. Then you figure it out, boom. Whereas somebody else's setback could be 2 months, 2 years, 20 years, right? That's the thing. We're still all going to have setbacks. We're going to have challenges. It just, do they take you out for 20 minutes where maybe you go higher and you get more information, guidance, clarification, another idea? Or do they take you out for 2 weeks, 2 years, 20 years? Or do you keep pushing on and then something else happens? Your body breaks down, your marriage breaks down, your health breaks down, and I think about all these things. So yeah, it's about keeping that movement going in a really big way. So yeah, it's all there. I'm going to get to a question that we've got from Destiny. And Destiny, I'm going to see if I can unmute you, or maybe you will unmute yourself. Okay, there we go. Destiny, Peter has been on fire with some of these. Hey, Destiny, good to see you.
Hey,
How are you?
Darius.
Beautiful. First time we ever get to see you today. What an awesome day it is. What's going on?
Oh, I don't know. Well, I'm hoping that Peter can help with this, but I'll
Okay.
explain what's going on. Oh man, I feel like I was not in my body. I haven't been in my body throughout the entire night, and it's kind of scary because it was almost like I couldn't, and right now it's like there's, I can feel an energy that's like kind of wrapping. There's some beings that are, there's some definite interference that does not feel earthly.
So to be clear, it's a single entity, and it's in the form, it's a corporeal form of a snake, a boa, and it's slowly strangling you. And you
Oh,
feel the energy all over your body just flying out. Yeah. Piece of cake. We got it. Don't get upset. It's easy. All you want to do is just drink chamomile tea with a lemon, 1 pinch of salt. That's it. And it's gone. Just like that. Chamomile tea, lemon, and a pinch of salt, and it's gone forever.
well, I want to be inside of my body, and I'm not inside of my body.
Well, you are. You just have the perception that you're not. Do you understand what I just told you?
Yeah.
Just go do that, and you're back to normal.
Are you serious?
Just remember, nothing in life is complicated. Humans just overcomplicate everything. So yeah, it is that simple.
Oh man.
All right. You're going to be all right, Destiny. Absolutely. Yeah. It is that simple. I mean, that's the thing, is we started the call with the mind complicates everything. So, Destiny, anything else you want to share since you're here?
I'm just having a hard time believing that, because all day long I've been feeling this energy and
Right.
all day
Well,
long.
of course you're having a hard time, but that's not you. That's the scorched earth policy that this entity is putting through you to say, yeah, right, whatever. You're probably better off with chicken feet, kumbaya, and crystals, but just go do it. And that's it. I mean,
Chamomile tea with lemon and a pinch of salt.
that's
It's
it.
just all. Oh.
Oh, wow, 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 wow.
All right, we're sending you some big love. Good to see you. You look beautiful. You look great, and I think it is going to be done. So sending you love.
Thank you, guys. Thank
Oh, we
you.
love you.
Blessings.
Yeah, we could have her on forever. I love seeing her. I mean, this is the thing. We have such immense spiritual power, and I'm so glad she came on with that, because it is our power, our flow, our essence that really commands this universe when we tap into it. So, what we did today was tapping into that, how Peter does it, how he recommends doing it, how different tools, different sacred geometric symbols, different energetics can do that. So, Peter, any final thoughts on that? Because I think maybe that is one of the big themes today, is like harnessing that power, so you can live in your fullness.
Did you realize what we just did for that woman is exactly what you just explained?
Yes.
That formula I just gave her is a geometric formula in 3D to dissolve what is ailing her. And there was no hesitation. There was no quivering. There was never a second guess in what I was saying. This will fix you. It will release what that right there is how that game is played. It's the flow. It's the information flow on the fly, in the spot, in real time, live on a call. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that.
I love it. I love it. We got a question from Alexandra. What device would be better, for her, or what might help her with some of what we know about her? We had a little chance to do some personal connection with our dear guest, Alexandra. Kathy says, I'm going to make some of that tea myself. Hey, go ahead. I love it. But for Alexandra, who's dealing with the dogs and wanting the cookbook, and what would you recommend? How do you kind of structure what might be useful for her?
For the doggy recipes?
Mm-hmm.
So
what tool? Yeah.
The generator, the HFA force generator is the tool she wants to use, because what it's going to do is it's going to bring clarity to fog. It'll bring order to the chaos that she perceives as mind fog in her mind, and it will show her the carrot and reveal the way of the next steps of what's going to happen.
Okay.
That's what these things do. They're
Yeah, I absolutely can tell you, I have been using these, this particularly, and of course, we all go through challenges. Whenever I've had a problem, I've used this, I've brought it into my field, I've carried it around, the solution always comes up. And then what my responsibility is to act, is to make the phone call, send the email, reach out to the person, take time to write down whatever it is that I need to do, and then just move forward. So yeah, I love that idea, and I love what it's doing here. Let me share real quick for people too. The other thing that I wanted to mention is you wouldn't just get this, Alexandra. You're going to get a lot of other stuff like the water bottle. There's a 60-minute live group activation call happening in July. Then they get access to AquaSync, which we talked about, which ties in really well with the water, because then you can charge the water with intentions, with finding balance, finding clarity, with abundance, with all sorts of things. Plus, you're going to get an HFA workshop, which is 3 videos. And I'm not trying to sound like a salesman here. I'm just an advocate for Peter totally, and what's doing, and just some of the great bonuses that he's brought here. So that's there while they last. And yeah, man, I love that. I love that we can actually bend our reality, and we can actually now say, we have the power of our own flow and our higher self coming in and live from that 100%.
Definitely.
Yeah. Well, I want to let you have the final word. We talked about a lot. We did a lot. We moved a lot, gave some tools out. What would you say for somebody frustrated or feeling like it's not possible? Doesn't need to relate to a tool. Could just be a message of love that you give to your brother, your mother, your best friend. What would you say to someone feeling like it's just not possible for them?
Embrace what you've learned today. You know, I have a lot of experience, obviously, in product creation and shifting realities for people, helping this young woman get back, to gravity. Take the tools, and if you're drawn to something, maybe it's a teaching, maybe it's a little piece of advice. When I do these types of shows, I have a tremendous amount of, it's very difficult for me to stay grounded. My mind is constantly shifting to the crowd and what's going on there. And when I'm disassociated like that, a lot of times a nugget will roll right out of my mouth, right? So years ago when we were treasure hunting, I told my friend that the Spaniards were burying the gold at the same time we were digging it out. And that comment blew open this whole new understanding of how things were getting done. So by hindsight, take the knowledge of what you learn and utilize it to minimize your fear, be more confident, grow your knowingness, become more fully within your power. When you speak, never talk about being stuck in the past. That's the biggest mistake we all make. I even make that mistake. And if you have recognition of it while you're saying it, it's fine. And just move forward in knowing with absolute clarity that you are in divine perfection. Period. End of story.
Oh, thank you, my brother. Beautiful stuff. I take those words to heart as well, as I know everyone else does. So that is Peter Schenk. What an amazing day. What an amazing teaching call. And we got to get our hands dirty and actually work in this field, this intelligent source energy field. And if you want to take any of this home with you, check it out. It's all here, uwealthrevolution.com/Peter25. And the newest tool, the Source water bottle, which has been behind me. We showed you pictures of it. And also the Force generator, creating a spiritual vortex in the palm of your hand. They're all available. So check them out. And just want to say thank you to everybody, and Peter as well. Thank you, everybody, for being here and trusting us and just being part of the show. You are all on the cusp of the next biggest transformation on the planet. You're the way showers, and we're here to love you and support you and remind you of how great and amazing and powerful you are. So thanks for being here. We're going to send you big love, and check out what Peter's doing, uwealthrevolution.com/Peter25. Thanks again, Peter, for being here, my friend.
Thank you, sir. Thanks, everyone.
All right.